welcome to Let It Out. So if you're new on this channel, my name is Blessing Boaz Adiotunolua. I am a Montessori directress and a child life coach. Today is Father's Day and we have a special edition for our fathers. Happy Father's Day to every father out there. Thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you for fathering us. Thank you for all the things you do. You are going to meet my guests very soon. So special edition for Father's Day, I have a father in the house. And this man, I heard him speak about fathers like never before. I've never heard it in that way. So I just had to meet him, talk to him, and ask him if he could be our guest on this show. And lucky we're here, we have him here today. So we're going to meet our guests now. And our guest on the show is none other than, please can you introduce yourself to our guest?
All right, I'm Kayode Ario. I'm a minister of God and I'm also an administrator.
All right, thank you, Mr. Kayode. Thank you so much for honoring this invitation.
It's such a joy to be here today.
You spoke about fathers in a very profound way. I've never heard it before, right? And I think that people out there need to hear it as well. So, from your perspective, who is a father?
Wow, thank you very much. This is a very, very important question in our generation now.
Yeah.
Because of the role that fathers should occupy. I would say a father is a progenitor, a father is a leader, a father is a visionary, a father is a pioneer, a father is so much more than we just describe a father to be in terms of a man who has given birth to children.
Yeah.
The father is that one who provides direction, and most importantly, a father provides defense or a protection system, as well as project people that come under his radar.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. If you're conversant or you follow our channel, you will know that we have spoken about a child. Our channel is focused about a child. We talk about children. We spoke about how children have the absorbent mind. They get to absorb everything from their family, their culture, the environment. There's a way it affects their upbringing. So I believe a father also has to be very intentional in bringing up, right, their children. So how do you think, what are the types of fathers, and how do you think they need to be intentional in bringing up their children?
Thank you very much for that question again. The truth is, considering how a man comes into fatherhood, you can almost say that a man knows he's a father at the time that the baby lands in his hands. And it's not necessarily his fault, because the wiring of both parents, the man and the woman, are different when it comes to childbearing. So when there's an intercourse between a man and a woman, the man deposits seed and doesn't have any other role to play, physically speaking, when it comes to delivery of the child. The woman is the one that is pregnant, is the one that goes through the period of the pregnancy, is the one that has to push, is the one. So there's no way she's becoming a mother and she's so conscious of it. When her tummy protrudes, when she begins to get enlargement in everything is telling that you are becoming a mother already. But the man doesn't have to go through all that. He just becomes a father. So if he has not been properly raised and trained on what it takes to be the man for his woman and that father for the baby that is coming, and somebody also preparing him mentally and emotionally to prepare to receive a visitor, he wouldn't know. He would just realize, oh, there's a baby in my hand, and because of that, we find out that a lot of men are fathers but are emotionally absent. They are fathers and they exactly don't know what they should be doing. They just know, oh, when the child is crying, give to the mother. When the child needs to eat, give to the mother. The child wakes up in the middle of the night, give to the mother. But like you also said, what kind of fathers? There are like 4 kinds of fathers, just to make it very easy to understand. There is that father that is authoritarian, who is provides rules, provides regulations, but doesn't have any relationship.
Wow.
And children need relationship.
They do.
Children need care. Children need warmth. Children need a lot of things beyond just saying don't do this, do that, don't do this.
They need to see you. They need to see you act the things you say as well.
Yes. We also have the uninvolved father. This is that father that doesn't provide rules, doesn't provide regulations, doesn't provide relationship. Possibly, maybe he's not even available because of divorce, or is not available because of his work.
Yeah.
So he doesn't even get to do anything. No rules, no regulations, no relationship, no care. Nothing is available for the either the girl child or the boy child. And then there's also the indulgent father. That's the father that just indulges, doesn't provide any rules and regulations, but is always providing relationship. Just wants children to have chocolates, ice cream, just spoil the children. You understand exactly? Yeah, he feels like, oh yes, I didn't get to have this when I was growing up, so I'm going to give to my children. But he thinks he's doing them good, but he's doing them more harm than good.
Wow.
Because children also need structure.
Exactly.
And that's what the man is supposed to be. He's supposed to be like that skeletal system, and then the woman fleshes it up. So the man provides that structure, provides that organization, provides that firmness, that template. And then, the woman brings, the care, the warmth, and all that. Somebody said in the book I read, men are leaders, women are managers.
Wow.
So women know how to manage the day-to-day things going on in family. Men are leaders, they're visionaries, they provide the milestones and all that stuff. And then also the last kind of father, which I believe every father should long to become, is the authoritative father. Right. That's the one who provides both rules, regulations, and also provides relationships. So there's a balance.
There's a balance. Now we talk about balance in parenting. Parenting comes with balance. The mother needs to know what to do, and the father has his place. He needs to play his role also in the life of a child. Thank you so much, Mr. Ariel. So talking about different types of fathers, how do you think these fathers affect their children?
All right. Thank you very much for that question. In terms of what these definitions give and what it translates to in the life of the child. So that child that doesn't get to have his or her father available to provide both rules and relationship, you will see those gaps, the vacuum, later on in the life of the child. The child could be insecure. The child could have suffered from what is called, not being given attention, and it spells out in inability to make quality decisions. That child could be suspicious of people. The child may lack confidence to approach the world just because that balance was not provided. And you find for the boy child, you find the boy growing up not to become the man he should be. He could be what is called mommy's boy, and even when he's grown, he's still mommy's boy. He just says, I'm a man, I'm a man, but you can see the gaps. You can see the fact that, this guy possibly was not well raised or was raised by an absentee father, because you can't see those manly traits. Now, being a man is not just about being bold or being able to talk or being able to do tough things. Like when I was growing up, the narrative was that for you to be a man, you had to have Dutch courage. I don't know if you understand what I'm talking about. And Dutch courage comes with, taking something that will get you high so you could do what you wouldn't have been able to do normally. And so we found ourselves as young people trying out things like sachets of Chelsea drink, of Squadron drinks, and then trying to, take bazes of cigarettes just to have that Dutch courage, that manly stuff. We felt being a man was being able to talk to a lady, being able to, check a lady and all that, being able to face up to things. Of course, there's a side to being a man, the manhood that has to do with, your courage, your strength. But you can get courage and strength from some other ways, from a man that is available, who is there to bring out that manhood inside you as a boy. Because it takes a man to raise another man.
Wow, that's really profound. It's amazing, right? I just wish that every father, right, would put more effort in bringing up their children, not just to the mother alone. I really wish that every parent will be involved. Because the child needs to see from the mother, he needs to see from the father. And we need to be aligned so that we don't give them different images. Now the father is portraying this image while the mother is... No, we need to be aligned so that the children don't get confused. They need to know what they are picking from their homes. They need to know what the culture of their home is.
Yes.
They can stand and say, oh, I know this is done in my home. This is how my father would want me to behave, you know.
Exactly, yeah.
So we talk about raising the man and the woman of the future.
Yes.
I keep saying 2035 will soon be knocking on our doors. How prepared are we? How prepared are we with our children? Have we really equipped them so that they can face the challenges of the world?
Yes.
We don't know what they will meet in 2035.
True.
We don't know what they will be exposed to. We don't know the things that might, you know.
Yeah. If we have all this going on
now, how much more?
Yes.
We need to all get up and walk intentionally, deliberately, in inculcating the right manners and attitude, in our children. So thank you so much, Mr. Ariel. Another thing that amazes me is, how did you come to know all of these things? Is it by reading, studying, or how did you get to know these things about fatherhood?
Okay, thank you very much for that question.
Yeah.
The truth is, while it's okay and important for us to read, to learn, go to school, take educational courses, I would say the majority of this, the core of this, came from godly parenting I got, especially from my father.
Oh, wow.
And I would like to really celebrate him on this Father's Day,
Wow.
because it's one thing to just say, oh, it's Happy Father's Day, let's celebrate fathers, but it's also important to recognize fathers that have invested in raising their children intentionally. And I would say my father did a lot of that.
Wow.
There was once upon a time my father sat us down and shared some things that we may never get to know about, but he decided to tell us because he wanted to be transparent.
Wow.
And sharing those, what things I would call scars, sharing those scars with us helped me as a person not to make those same mistakes.
So fathers need to be transparent to their children.
Transparent.
Amazing.
And the truth is, life is like a journey. We all go through pathways. Back in the days, which was an agrarian society, fathers would lead their sons to the farm or to hunting. And as the fathers are going, you see them clearing the way with their cutlass, clearing anything on the pathway so that their sons coming behind don't have to stick their legs on thorns.
Oh, wow.
They are clearing the way and sharing story after story with those sons, teaching them and training them, and that's exactly what my father did. He didn't take us through the pathway of the farm, but he showed us how not to step on thorns by showing his scars to us. And that's what our Father in heaven would do. The Lord Jesus Christ showed his scars when he was off the cross. And it's important. It's okay. It's wrong for children to go looking for their father's errors, but it's okay and proper for fathers, as a part of the methodology of training and raising their sons, to tell them, this is the way I took, don't take this way. When I did this, this was the consequence, don't do this. Not just to say, don't do this, do that, don't do this, but if you showed them why they shouldn't do that, maybe because of your personal experience, which sometimes could be emotional, because men don't want to get emotional before their kids, but it's okay. It will help them to be trained adequately and to prepare for the world ahead of them. So my father did that to me, showed us those things, and I asked him one day, why did you tell us all this? Realizing how much it had helped me. And he said to me, if I went through stuff and God helped me out of it, it's only okay for me to show you so that you don't need to go through the same thing and you can come into success quicker. So I learned a lot from watching my father, listening to my father, and seeing his examples, in addition to the things I also read from books.
Wow, amazing. It's amazing to know how children really watch us.
Yes.
Their eyes are on us.
Yes.
They apart from the instructions being given to them, it's like they are reading you. They see you like a book that they just read and copy and want to follow.
Yes.
That's amazing. The place of instruction and guidance in the home, do you think it comes from the father? Is there like a blueprint for that?
Okay, sincerely, a human being is a sophisticated being. So we may not say, okay, this blueprint will serve for all homes. And that's where the intentionality comes in. Every father, and also mothers as well, will need to deliberately coin out and work out what blueprint will fit their own home in line with their vision. Exactly. For me, as a young man who is also a husband and a father, a question just stuck to me for a long while. I just couldn't get away from that question. The question came from a statement I heard from people from time to time. And what's the statement? I kept hearing people say to that person, you lack home training. And to that person, you lack home training. And to this person, you lack home training. And then I asked myself, there was no time in my home, as far as I know, and in homes I've visited, where the parents sat the children down and said, this is time for home training.
Wow.
I don't know whether it takes this long. There's really nothing like home training time. Sit down, guys, this is home training time. So how come they are requiring of children what is not made available in the home?
Wow.
Until I got to realize home training comprises two major things, and they are corrections and instructions.
Amazing.
So as young people, children growing up, we always want to try things. You see a child climbing a loft, wanting to fly down. See a child reaching for something, wanting to pull it down. See a child wanting to put his hands into fire, doing different things. We always want to try things out. And so home training comes with that correctional approach that parents make available to their children and the instructional approach. So it's two arms. They bring correction and bring instructions. So parents need to get deliberate in not getting tired.
Not getting tired.
Not getting tired.
I really like that phrase.
Not getting tired.
Sometimes we get tired.
Yes, we're like, oh, I've corrected this child again and again. Oh, not getting tired. Not getting tired. And don't try to play the good man or the good woman. Now, I mean good man and good woman in quotes. What I mean to say is, don't try to form like, oh, I'm the good daddy here. Your mom may be harsh, but I'm the good one. Or I'm the good mommy here. Your dad may be harsh, but I'm the good one. You just may be the indulgent father who is indulging that child when you should be firm.
Oh, amazing.
So don't get tired of correcting, provide corrections, of course in love, and also provide instructions so that there's a balance.
Thank you so much. When you spoke about children having the observant mind, and when they get to a certain age, they now have the reasoning mind. They begin to reason. They want to know reason why. They will ask you questions. Why is this happening? And all of that. So being transparent and talking to them, it's really amazing. They will get to understand you from all angles and different perspectives. Thank you so much. Does this affect the nation building in general?
Wow, this is a big one. Sincerely, the family is the unit of any society, any organization. It begins from the home. Nobody fell from heaven, like it's usually said. Everybody has a home they came out from. Even that armed bandit came out from a home.
Exactly.
That terrorist came out from a home. That, so to speak, troublemaker came out from a home. And that person doing well also came out from a home. So everything zeroes back to the house. You know, like someone said, and very profound, says the challenge in our society, he says the challenge in Africa is not leadership, you know, like we've been made to believe. Because leadership, though, is a challenge, but leadership is the fruit of the challenge. The real challenge is fatherlessness.
Wow.
Thankfully, we're on Father's Day, so this is just very timely. You know, so what does it mean by fatherlessness? Because if a person has not been well fathered or less fathered than he should have been fathered, then that person is fatherless. Not because your father is not physically available, but maybe because he abdicated his responsibility. He's not been playing his role. And sincerely, this translates to affect our society and our nation. If a boy has not been well fathered and has not been trained with the necessary leadership qualities and has not been raised up well to be a man who provides security, protection, provides for his family, and is able to live up and stand up to his responsibility, if eventually he becomes a leader in the society, the same things he missed out will still begin to show.
Wow.
Because it's what charity, they say,
begins
at
at home.
home. So if it's not been cultivated into him while he was being raised from this basic unit, this home, when he gets out there, he's still a template that people want to follow. So people are going to follow the wrong things. He's going to become a leader, whatever, in any capacity, maybe MD, CEO, because he's rich, because he has ideas, because he was able to make good connection. He becomes a leader, maybe in the political scene, maybe a governor, or maybe a councillor, or maybe whatever it is that he becomes, maybe by virtue of his intelligence or whatever things, or whatever reason made people elect him into that position. The lacuna, the gap that was not properly filled from home, will now become magnified.
Wow.
Will become magnified. And a leader or a father is also a template. He's not just an individual, he's more or less an institution.
Wow.
When he stands in that leadership capacity, whether at national level or at state level or at even the church level, is a template that people want to pattern their life after. So when people want to follow a person, they draw close to the person. They begin to study the person. And as they do that, they begin to discover contradictions. So they discover that, this person is supposed to be representing leadership to us. Then they see something else that is contradicting. And so if I'm going to give a parting word or a very important word, I will say what you said earlier on. Fathers should get intentional. Now that you are a father, now that you are the head of your home, now that you are the husband of your woman, get intentional about raising your children, because they are the next generation. You're talking about 2035, and it's just around the corner.
I'm telling you.
But we can begin to put things in place ahead of that time, so that the generation that is rising can learn the right things, and we can be deliberate about raising that next generation.
Oh my God, I'm super excited. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation. Please, parents, this is not just for parents. If you're single, you want to be a father someday, you want to be a mother someday, now is the time to start. Don't wait. Don't wait until that leadership all comes on you. Work on it now. Thank you so much. Please do remember to subscribe to our channel. And if you do enjoy our content, please share with your family and friends. Bye.
Bye.